Congratulations. It is 1348, and you are alive in Europe. I regret to inform you this is about to become a problem. Over the next 4 years, the plague we will later call the Black Death kills somewhere between a third and half of everyone you know. So, let us talk survival. It starts with a boat. In October 1347, 12 Genoese trading ships dock in Sicily. Most of the sailors are already dead. The rest are dying. Terrible news for a port town. One chronicler wrote they brought with them a disease so deadly that anyone who merely spoke to them was infected. The Sicilians told them to leave. They did not leave quickly enough. Because the real passengers were not the sailors. They were the black rats. And the actual killers were even smaller than that. Meet the flea. It rides the rat carrying a bacterium called Yersinia pestis. It bites you. That is the entire plan. It is a very simple plan. The flea's stomach gets so clogged with bacteria that it starves, panics, and vomits the plague directly into your bloodstream. Nature is beautiful. Now, nobody in 1348 knows any of this, fleas, bacteria? No. The leading medical theory is that the air itself has gone bad. This is called miasma. Bad smells cause disease, which means the officially recommended cure is, and I am not joking, to smell something nicer. So people carry little bundles of flowers and sweet herbs everywhere they go. Does it work? No, but you will smell absolutely lovely at your funeral. One morning, you wake with a headache and a fever. Then, you find them. The buboes. Swollen lymph nodes in your armpits, your neck, and your groin. Boccaccio said some grew to the size of an apple. They turn black. That, eventually, is where the name Black Death comes from. From this point, optimistically, you have about a week. Time to see a doctor. And by doctor, I mean a man who has read the ancient Greek Galen and owns a knife. His options are lance and drain the buboes, bleed you to rebalance your four humors, or apply a paste of tree resin, flower roots, and, in one real recipe, 10-year-old treacle. Another recommended remedy, strap a live plucked chicken to the swelling to draw out the poison. If the chicken got sick, that meant it was working. The chicken did not see it that way. Pope Clement VI's physician had a bolder plan. Sit the Pope between two enormous roaring fires all summer long. Completely absurd. Also, the Pope survived. Nobody is entirely sure why. You, however, being a lowly peasant, do not get two fires and a Pope's physician. You get the chicken. So you turn to God. Reasonable. Half of Europe agrees, and the churches are packed shoulder to shoulder. Unfortunately, cramming a building full of feverish people is, medically speaking, the single worst idea available. Enter the Flagellants, traveling bands who whip themselves bloody in public squares to beg forgiveness for humanity's sins. The march lasted 33 and a half days, one for each year of Christ's life. They were wildly, alarmingly popular, right up until the Pope realized that a leaderless mob roaming the countryside might become a problem, and banned them entirely. This is also when it turns genuinely dark. With no real explanation for the horror, terrified communities looked for someone to blame, and turned on their Jewish neighbors in appalling massacres. The plague did not care. It kept killing everyone, equally. Speaking of everyone, the bodies. Florence lost so many people that the writer Boccaccio said the dead were not even honored with tears. There were not enough priests, not enough gravediggers, so you get the plague pit, a vast trench, and a chronicler in Siena described the bodies being layered in like, his words, lasagna. That is a real contemporary comparison, from a man who was there burying his own children. I would like you to sit with that for a moment. Now, if you actually intend to survive this, stop praying and go to Venice, or better still, to Ragusa, which today we called Dubrovnik. They tried something genuinely radical. Ships arriving from plague-struck ports had to sit at anchor, isolated, before anyone was allowed to land. At first, for 30 days, a Trentino. Then they extended it to 40 days, quaranta. That is, quite literally, where the word quarantine comes from. You have been using medieval plague jargon your entire life. But let us be honest about your personal odds. Avoid crowds, avoid rats, avoid fleas, and leave the city the moment you can. That, sincerely, is the best advice medieval medicine actually had. Or you can strap on the chicken, your funeral. Oh, and one myth, quickly. Ring-a-Ring-a Roses is not secretly about the plague. That story is Victorian. The roses and the ashes are a coincidence. Sorry. Here is the twist, though. If you are one of the survivors, congratulations. You are now, relatively speaking, rich. So many workers died that the ones left alive could finally demand real wages. The plague accidentally cracked the whole feudal system. So trust no boats, befriend no fleas, skip the chicken and get out of town. That is how you survive the Black Death. Probably you will not, but maybe. I have been your host. Thank you for watching Filthy History. Please try not to touch anyone on the way out.